there are like lots of things you can do in Crazy Gadget. It's very interesting. Very cool stage. Lots of people would probably say the Sonic stages are the best. Oh, they're starting.
We're beginning.
Yeah, so loading into City Escape. First stage. Alright, so not a lot will be happening in City Escape until about 40 seconds in when they attempt to go for the skip. I'm assuming both of them will. Dage definitely will. Tylenol, I'm not too sure if Tylenol will attempt it. I would like to think yes, he would probably attempt it because if his PB's a 40, he wants that time save.
Yeah.
So
Dage will definitely go for it. He's also, I think, one of the only players in this tournament that I actually half expect to get it whilst attempting it because he is uncommonly good at hitting the skip.
Yeah. Dage actually has a bit of like a stumble at the start, but still pulls ahead of Tylenol, as you can see. Dage going for the skip. Gets the ramp jump.
He's got it!
Of course he gets it. Tylenol does not go for it, actually.
So, welcome to Sonic Adventure 2. This is a world record attempt right here.
Not very likely, but it could still happen. As we said before, anything can happen. We're going to keep saying it.
So this skip, I assume this is the first CE skip of the marathon. This gives Dage a solid 30-second advantage right out the bat.
Yeah.
This is quite a big gap for the player who doesn't get CE skip to surmount. So Tylenol definitely has an uphill struggle for the rest of the race.
Yeah. He's going to be quite far behind already, let alone like the PB difference, like almost implying there's like a huge skill difference. I would not say that's true at all. Anything like Tylenol does like good, Dage could do bad. So Tylenol could pull ahead at some points to catch up with Dage. I'm not sure if he'll actually manage to get ahead of Dage any point though. We could see what happens.
So considering the start that Dage had, where he did make a few mistakes right after getting off the board, ending City Escape with a 123, bearing that in mind, is really good.
Yeah, that is still a very good time for those mistakes. Tylenol coming to the end of City Escape right now.
Yeah, he's going down the truck section, which I'm sure a lot of other racers have done in their own races so far.
Yeah, flies down, flies off a few hills. Not too good when that happens, but still ending with a 211, which isn't too bad.
Yeah. So this kind of shows you that if you just compare their respective finishing level times, Dage is almost 50 seconds ahead right now.
Yeah, that's like a huge difference already on the first stage. Dage actually ends Bigfoot with the 21:39, which I mentioned earlier is a frame perfect time. It's just a set bunch of inputs, not too difficult to get, but a lot of runners haven't even seen a 21:39 before.
Yeah. So Dage also getting a good first piece, but then I'm not sure what he. Oh, okay.
Oh, he went back to get the free piece. Yeah.
I didn't really see that in the stream. Nice play. I was wondering what he was doing there initially because
yeah, same.
Dage definitely knows where all the piece locations are. It is definitely the cornerstone of being good at the knuckle stages that you absolutely need to know where all the hint locations refer to.
Yeah, I think that was the right play, but that does imply he made a mistake in not being able to cancel going up to the top section to grab the piece before he goes up. That would have saved even more time.
That's right.
Tylenol ends Bigfoot with the 22. That's pretty standard for most runners. And he gets suspended ceiling, which is probably one of the worst first pieces you can get in the stage. I'd actually restart over.
He's also got a free piece. So
he gets a free piece as well, which that will make up for it. We'll see what happens on his third piece.
Yeah, he's got the quote-unquote good variant of suspended ceiling as well, where you don't need to destroy the enemy, and he's going right down to the bottom for his second piece. So they're both getting similar Wild Canyon times. These are both decent. Yeah,
that was good RNG, I'd say, considering the free piece.
Yeah, suspended ceiling was poor, but the free piece definitely saved it.
Yeah. So you just saw Dage finish Eggman 2. I mean, Eggman 1, Eggman 2. That would be insane if it was Eggman 2.
That would be a very good pace, yeah.
But with a 12:92, I believe it was, that's pretty standard for Eggman 1.
Yeah.
Tylenol also coming into it now.
The differences in Eggman 1 are honestly measured more in tenths of a second than anything else, so it's not a boss we tend to take note of time variance on, as long as there's no catastrophic mistakes made.
Yeah. Tylenol actually gets a few frames on Dage there, catching up by 2 frames, I think.
Indeed. Dage is having a really solid start to Prison Lane here, though. He had a 36 elevator trigger, which is really
yeah.
cool.
He got the gate hop. He got very good movement, weaving in the hallways, and he got a 51 check, which that's not the best check you can get, but that is a very good check. Which he's probably on about a 135 pace right now or something like that.
I believe it's the best check I've gotten. So to be able to just pull it out like that and he's still in his movement room. He's still made some mistakes. So still being able to do that with mistakes, it's like Dage is just on another level, really.
Yeah. I'm not going for the first gate hop. He could not land on the gate, so he misses the first gate hop. Yeah. That loses about 4 seconds, I think.
That miss was caused by, as you attempt that first gate hop, there's a beetle enemy that comes along and fires a shot, and he was trying a little too hard to be conservative and avoid the shot that it fires. But generally, the safest way to take care of it is just to shoot it out of the air, because when you destroy the beetle and force it to despawn, it takes the shot with it, so you will not take damage from it.
Yeah. And as I predicted, Dage ends with a 135.
Pretty respectable.
Very respectable time indeed, yes. Tylenol coming to the end of Pyramid Cave? Well, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Prison Lane.
Yeah. There are some pretty difficult sections to take here at the end of Prison Lane, so hopefully he manages to cope with these, including these early gate shots.
Yeah. He did not get the early lock-on through the wall there.
Yeah.
He does go for that early lock-on, which he managed to get all of them, so that's going to save some time. 133 ending checkpoint was not too good, and he misses the second gate hop just barely. I think he just missed the input for the jump there. Looks like he's ending with a 150.
Honestly.
Yeah, 148, I think that is.
49.
49, yeah.
It's just shy of a 150.
Yeah, still not the worst you can get. I've seen much worse than that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how happy he'll be with that.
Dage himself has obviously been making his way through Metal Harbor, and he got to the light dash upgrade with a 20 flat time, which for him he'd probably like to get there a little early, but it's still a pretty good time, all things considered. And he has a very clean rocket platform skip there. Yeah,
that was very clean. I think this is a very clean Metal Harbor. He's probably going to get about a 121 or maybe a 122. Tylenol also going to Metal Harbor. It's going up to the light dash.
There's a mistake that could be made right at the end here, though, because this last loop you can also skip, and you can try and squeeze a little more time save by taking it riskier. Okay, but
yeah, a very high 120. There you go. That was a very good end, I think.
Yeah, that end was very clean.
Yeah, actually a mid 120, my mistake.
Being able to land on the platforms that are going back and forth gives you a little more leeway for how safe or risky you can afford to take that specific section.
Yeah. Tylenol playing very conservatively on Metal Harbor so far. I'm sure he doesn't want to die. He's doing a very strange strat. I've not seen anyone do that before.
Yeah, that was I've never seen that route before myself either. That's interesting. I don't think it's necessarily faster, but it is interesting.
I mean, it's not necessarily slower for maybe someone like Tylenol doing that kind of strat over just doing it like going around the curve. I just haven't seen that before. That's very strange. Dage going for the IL strat on Shadow 1. I'm sure you will be excited about that.
I'm even more excited that he managed to drive it to completion. So for reference, the best time that you can manage on Shadow 1 there is a 1094. That's what the task gets. And Dage just got a 1099. So he only lost 3 frames over optimal execution there. Generally, if you manage to execute that strat well and actually finish the fight, you do get in the region of like 1095 to 11, so it's about the time that I would expect for someone executing that strat, but it's just not a trivial strat to execute at all. It's a lot more difficult than it looks. Yeah,
it's nothing like Bigfoot where you can easily get the frame perfect time either. This one is more timing. I guess that you need to actually time when you start your first spin dash as soon as possible, pretty much on the first frame to get the frame perfect time.
Yeah.
So that one involves a bit more, I guess, response from the player.
There is a little bit of weird leeway with it, because if you don't start inputs on the first frame, it is slightly compensated by the fact that Shadow is moving closer to you as well.
Yeah, it's almost like a bit of buffer for you. Tylenol does not go for the IL strat. He's going to go for the standard strat. It's still looking pretty good, though.
Using homing attacks, which is a little riskier, but he's still got a fairly clean fight with the 14.
Yeah, just barely missed that third hit, which did not end up hitting. So he ended up losing about just under 3 seconds, I'd say.
Yeah. So now we're going to have to see on Dage's stream, he's coming up to the Green Forest wall run, and I'm going to assume that he's going to go for Task Run here, the fastest variant.
Yeah. And he landed on the tree.
Yeah.
He did not go for Task Run, he's going for Moonshot, though.
Moonshot. This is the, like, in-betweeny strat, as I like to call it. It's less risky than Task Run, but it squeezes a little less time save out, but that's still a very difficult strat to execute, so getting the first
he just made it look really easily done. So, yeah, very good Green Forest from Dage, despite not having Task Run. 1:21, very good time.
Yeah, that's really solid, especially, like, as I say, considering no Task Run, which is at least a couple of seconds faster than that, that's really good.
Yeah. So as mentioned,
making through Green Forest, he's probably not going to go for a wall run variant himself. I don't think he attempts those, so you're going to see the contrasting tree climb, which uses the springs.
Yeah. Ooh.
Just made that loop skip.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, the camera changes on that loop skip can really make that unfriendly to attempt, so he got out of that quite nicely.
Alright, Dage entering Pumpkin Hill. Let's see what his first piece is. 3 metal barrels. That's that Church Mountain. He's gonna get that piece fairly quickly and get his second hint monitor.
Tylenol is going for a wall.
Oh no, he's not. He just I think he bailed out of that.
Okay.
I think he went for the setup and realized it was scary or something, and then just spin dashed over to the other side. That's what it looked like, at least.
Which I think is wise, because a big part of running this game is knowing when you can afford to attempt certain things and when you need to just bail out of certain attempts that just aren't going to work.
Yeah. Alright, Dage getting a bit worse than average RNG, I believe. He does go for the nice swaggy grab there, but misses it. And ends up with a 47, so his execution there could have been better. He could have got a best time, probably about a 43 or something like that.
A 47 in Pumpkin Hill, I would say, is below average.
Yeah, I'd say that.
It's not awful, but it's below average. Generally, in Pumpkin Hill, if you're getting above 50s, then that's getting into the region of what we would call bad finishing times.
Yeah, Tylenol himself is going to be coming into Pumpkin Hill here after finishing Green Forest with a 142, which is that's not too bad. That's fairly good, fairly clean Green Forest from Tylenol.
Yeah,
I believe. Alright, Dage coming up to Mission Street's Weight Hop, which we did not see last race. Both runners just missed it. Alright, 3 Skull Brothers for Tylenol. That's very interesting first piece.
Interesting that Dage is going for the IGT abuse here. I think he's actually treating this as a world record attempt, because he's sacrificing real time to attempt that.
Yeah, and he could still mess up the cycle if he waits too long as well.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look like the best execution.
It costs even more time to lose the cycle at that point as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going all in on this run right now. He's taking all of the IGT strats and sacrificing RTA to do so, which in a race is a ballsy move.
Yeah, he did actually end up making the strat. Now we just need to wait to see if he makes the end cycle at the end. He does do a cool strat, which... Oh my... Oh, he went for the war run. That would be insane if he got that. I can't believe he attempted that.
I am awestruck right now.
I am surprised that he even attempted that.
So that strat that Dage attempted, you won't see in any run on the leaderboard, because it is a task strat that was discovered the other day, and we've only had a few days to even mess with it and experiment with it. Oh.
Dage!
This is...
and he dies! That is a huge time loss.
Okay,
he is all the way back to the last checkpoint.
That has really
40 seconds
leveled the gap between the two races somewhat. Dage is still ahead, but that has really shortened the gap.
Yeah, you can see like the skill difference. Dage going for the task strat even. Well, that's what we're
going for it again.
He went for it again. Well, I guess it's kind of like a free attempt at this point, but he goes for that. But he ends up dying later in the stage to even it out. Like they're in the same stage now, and they aren't even that far away from each other, so...
I wouldn't even say that going for the task strat is ever a free attempt, because even if you get on the wall, you've still got to dismount from it properly.
Especially not when you're going for 0th cycle. When you're on pace for that, you cannot spend the extra time to try the wall run. If you're on 1st cycle, you have a bit of extra time to go for it.
Yeah.
But
so
if you try on 0th cycle, you will not make it.
So
Yeah.
the struggling with the pause hover there messed up the strat that he was trying to go for, which is just a long hover jump to cut off that corner, so he had to take a slightly slower route there.
Yeah, I still personally believe he could have made it if he tried to go back in a bit early, but he obviously hasn't tried to do anything like that before, and he wants to play it safe, and he doesn't want to die again, so... Yeah, he just took the easy way, didn't it?
Corridor here, though.
Yeah. Tylenol also missing it, but he's going to go for the walk of shame rather than just a pure death.
Yeah. This is a very long detour, but it is nonetheless still faster than dying and respawning at the latest checkpoint.
Yeah. The only good thing about what happened there was he was already hovering, like, quite high up as well, so you managed to skip part of the walk of shame by hovering, which is considerably faster than walking uphill. Dage ends with a 208, I believe, which is... It's not the greatest. He'd had a death as well, but he will take that. He's going to have to take that. He's going into Aquatic Mine, so he's going to look for some free pieces at the start.
Mm-hmm.
I can't personally see any. See if he gets a ping. He does.
Okay, so Aquatic Mine is generally always started by going up to this top section and triggering water level 3. He does get a free piece, nice.
He gets Guardian of the Switch, that's very lucky.
But you pretty much always go up to water level 3 and trigger it, because there are almost no pieces in the stage that don't require water level 3, and otherwise the water is just a hindrance to your movement.
Yeah, so actually Dage ends up getting very good RNG with, I was going to say fairly good execution, but he kind of messed up at the end. So
yeah,
he could have saved more time. He could have got about a 23 or 24, but ended up with a 30. So that's just an example of like execution mistakes, losing some time.
The pieces themselves were very good though.
Yeah, that was not RNG causing that time loss. Tylenol ends mission streak with a 230. That's 2nd cycle, I think. Oh no, yeah, 2nd cycle because he got Walk of Shame. I didn't see any free pieces in Tylenol's screen. Yeah, he restarted because no ping.
Yeah, there's generally, you can choose to either run with no ping and get a hint, and then just hope to not get one of the worst pieces in the stage. But a lot of runners opt to, a lot of runners do opt to restart if they don't have a ping at the start of the stage.
Yeah. So he's actually going to clip out for... Oh, no, he's not. He's going to go for the switch. I thought he was going to clip out for a second. Oh, he is going to clip out. He just got the switch first. This is actually considered the worst stage... the worst piece in the stage. Because you have to get water switch level 2. Which loses a lot of time because then you have to swim out, I believe.
He's trying a clip here, but his camera is actually not... against the wall enough generally, which makes it a lot more difficult. He's finally got it, but that cost a lot of time. Yeah,
he had to have a sharper angle, I believe, so... Yeah, he would have saved more time if he had just went underneath to go for it.
So whilst Dage didn't really get to blame his time loss in this stage on the RNG, Tylenol definitely can.
Yeah. His RNG was absolutely appalling. Chased the skull as well afterwards, which isn't too bad, but that second piece was like the one which lost the most time. That is the one piece you do not want to see ever.
Ironically as well, it also means that there's every chance that if he hadn't reset on his first attempt, he wouldn't have gotten that second piece.
Yeah.
This is why I personally try to use minimal reset strats in Aquatic Mine for that exact reason.
Yeah, there's no saying what piece you could get though, so even if you go for the piece where you don't have any free piece or ping, you could get like Ghost Room and then still get Minecart Dumping Area, so it's more like a gamble rather than anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Dage actually doing backwards driving.
This is no slower or faster, by the way. I mean, it's possibly slower to get into this backwards driving state, but the process of driving backwards is no slower or faster.
Yeah. So you can actually, in this stage, you can actually see they're about a minute and a half or a minute and 40 seconds apart now. Dage is taking the lead by almost 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Route 101 is commonly used as a sort of measuring stick at the halfway point of races to determine the gaps between races, specifically because you can just compare their in-game timers.
Yeah, exactly. Because the stage is so long, there's no skips. It's very likely that the racers will be in that stage at the same time. Even if they're about 2 minutes apart, you'll still be able to compare the times.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm expecting Dage to have a very good hidden base here. He's been showing off. Well, he does the same mistake as the last 2 races. I've seen the exact same. I can't believe how many people are making that mistake.
Going for the pole hop though. So...
I don't know if he'll make that. He might be out of the cycle.
Yeah, that's right. This is cycle dependent.
It looks like he might make it.
Ooh,
that was about a few frames off, I'd say.
I'm gonna say that the only reason he made that was because of the quality of his hover jump off the pole.
Yeah, I agree.
If his hover had been lower, he cleared that distance. Normally, you wouldn't land at that section when the platform is on the high end of its cycle, but because he made a mistake earlier in the stage, we didn't know where the platform was going to be when he reached there.
Yeah, so you still did lose some time because it makes the movement a little bit sloppier if you're off cycle slightly. But it didn't lose too much time. Tylenol is actually coming to the end of Route 101 here. Looks like he's gonna get a 220. I'm not too sure actually.
Yeah, we'll see in just a second. Meanwhile, Dage has a 112 check, which is still pretty good in hidden base.
Yeah. Much higher than a 220.
Yeah, he slowed down quite a lot on that last straight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It costs a lot of time to do something like hit the last car and lose speed without having a boost, because since you're on a straightaway with no downslopes, you cannot accelerate anymore in Route 101.
Oh. Dage actually took a death in hidden base.
Yep. That
lost about 12 seconds.
If you try and maintain as much forward momentum as possible on that specific hover jump over the sandpit to cut the distance, it does make it a lot riskier.
Yeah, because if you mess up that hover jump even slightly, you might not make it up. You might fall straight into the sand and lose another 15 or so seconds.
Yeah, the majority of runners take that hover jump just by jumping straight to the side of the platform, so that even if you fail it, you at least land on solid ground and don't die.
Yeah, and then you can try it again. And Dage actually does end with a 144, which, considering those mistakes, that is still very good. I would be happy with that in a run any day, honestly.
Yeah. Maybe not with a death, but the stage time itself is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Tylenol's actually caught up a little bit despite the bad Route 101 because of Dage's death in hidden base. But that could change. Dage actually in Pyramid Cave now. The most intensive Sonic stage in the whole run. Actually, the most intensive stage altogether in the run. I'm expecting good results from this stage as well. He's shown that he's very good at this stage, especially in his new PB, where he gets a 125.
Yeah, which is ridiculously good for a hero story. Right?
Yeah, that is one of the best times recorded. So yeah, it looks very clean so far. Yeah.
So the second door skip again with this very precise door skip. Nice.
Gets it fairly quickly.
And these hallways are the bitrate killer, which is sadly an even bigger problem with Dage's stream, but it'll clean up a bit once he's out of this hallway.
Yep. Going for snake skip, does not go for setupless, does a small hop to slow himself down, give himself a bit more time just for safety. Doesn't lose too much time either.
Yeah,
he could still die.
Super clean pyramid cave.
If he dies now, he'll lose like 40 seconds or so. Well, not 40, 30.
Oh,
I'm surprised he even tried to go back on the side there. He could have easily just been thrown off the side and lost that time. So a 125 again.
Yeah.
I am happy with that, dude.
That is one of the best on-the-spot recoveries that I've seen at that specific spot.
Yeah, that was very close.
I was convinced that he was going to die there.
Same. He would have lost a lot of time. Over 25 seconds. About 30.
Mm-hmm. So let's see how Dage does in Death Chamber. He doesn't have any free pieces, so he needs
There's
to
a
get
spiral uppercut there.
Yeah, the camera changes in this stage and the fact that you sometimes need to backtrack for hourglasses can sometimes result in some unwanted spiral uppers in this stage.
Yeah. Not too bad of a first piece. Not too bad of a second piece either. But this piece can give you some fairly bad third pieces. For example, you could get a red and green secret third piece. Let's see what he gets.
Even then, I don't think it's a particularly awful piece to get from there, because you can either do the booty clip or even just... Okay, so he's got
that's still a good piece.
This is pretty good. I would say, from where he was...
that was probably one of the best ones.
Continuing onto Blue Room are pretty interchangeable strats here.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So a 53 is definitely pretty good.
Yeah, I'd take that in a run any day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it can go way faster than that if you get the right pieces, but you'd have to get really lucky. Tylenol was actually doing pretty good on Pyramid Cave here with a 107 checkpoint time. Going for Snake Skip as well.
I wouldn't complain about that too much. He had that Snake Skip looked a little risky to me there, but he's through it fairly
quickly. It did. That was still very good.
Camera is trying to give him a hard time at that specific corner, but yeah, he's going to land on that rail, which is nice. You just need to be aligned right in the middle of that hallway, and you can use the floor markers as a bit of a cue for that, because if you don't land on that, like, dead on, there's a lot of things either with the rail collision or the snakehead before it that can cause you to get really out of position.
Yeah, he actually does take it really safe at the end and goes around the loops, that's not a thing I actually see like that often, purely because you can just jump from one half of the loop to the other side. That saves a bit more time than going around the whole loop. But he wants to take it safe, so he got a 141. Still not too bad.
Yeah,
but it could have been a bit better.
At the same time, it's a decent enough practical decision, because just going around like that is absolutely zero risk.
Yeah. Dage actually gets Fireball Skip and ends up with a 40 King Boom Boo as well. Tylenol gets Sniper first piece. Yeah.
Dage is doing this strat, right?
He's doing arm strats. Wow, I haven't seen this strat in like 3 years or so.
I
remember when I first conceptualized this strat.
Getting super bounces now, nice. So
yep,
he's 3 hits an egg golem already, waiting for the head
clean
smash to
egg
come down.
golem. You can still mess up, not very likely, but yeah.
Okay, struggling a little.
Yeah, he still gets it in the end, so...
So Tylenol got his first blue piece, and he death abused for a red respawn piece, and now he has red-green secret third piece, as I say. And this secret piece, I actually don't mind getting from red, because...
that's not too bad from there. It's not one that you have to spend a while getting to.
Yeah.
If you were, like, in blue already, that would be a very bad piece.
Yeah, from red, actually the room itself is honestly close enough that it's not really worth clipping for.
Yeah, takes about maybe 15 seconds to get there, I'd say. From red?
I'd say even less than that, honestly, because as I say, if you clip for it, it doesn't really save time, and the clip certainly doesn't take 15 seconds to perform.
Yeah, 10 to 15 then, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Alright, Dage getting a 22 check in Eternal Engine. Tylenol coming up on the boss duo.
Dage choosing to go around the boxes in the switch room rather than straight over, which I find a little odd, but
I don't know why he did that.
Pace for first cycle. There is quite a surprising amount of leeway on Eternal Engine for how much time you can lose, as long as there's no major mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, Dage getting a bad camera there. Takes his time to turn it. Does a nice hover jump. Does not die there. That's a crucial hover jump, especially if you're at the exact point in the cycle where... Oh, he gets the weight jump as well. I was going to say...
Silly. I can't agree with that decision. He was more than well enough on pace for first cycle that he absolutely did not need to go for that strat, which only saves a few tenths of a second if that, and will lose the cycle if missed. That is a very nice hover jump off the platform arm though, and... Yeah, this is looking like a very good Eternal Engine. This can easily sub 2. I'd say this is about a high 158 pace, maybe a low 159. This is definitely one of the swaggier Eternal Engines I've seen. Yeah,
he can like save or lose a few seconds on Eternal Engine here, depending on how fast he drops into the goal ring. If he just goes for a straight drop, he can possibly get a 157, a very high 157. If he takes his time, however, he can get 158, 159, or 2 minutes, I'd say.
Tylenol himself was choosing to forego the regular super bounces in Egg Golem, and he's instead trying to go for what we call the poverty bounces, using the fallen platforms, but he's still struggling with these a little as well.
Oh, he actually has a 156. I didn't even think he could get 156 there.
Yeah, that's very good.
He must have done the new, well, not new, because it's pretty old by now, but he must have done the thing where you turn in when you're going out of bounds to save the time. Taking a more straight line rather than curved.
He did take what seemed like a different out-of-bounds route to me, so that probably is what happened, yeah.
Yeah. Going for that extra time save. 156 is a very good time on Eternal Legend. I've not even seen a 156 before. I'm having a bit of trouble with the Egg Golem. I didn't quite see Dage's first piece on Meteor Hood.
We're about to find out. So he's riding up and he hasn't had a ping yet, so it's at least not in the middle. He's got Arc storage area. Yeah. One of the many variants of it.
Yeah, that's the best one you can get from there.
Floating stone above
him. Floating stone. What a good meme.
Tylenol got one of the game's worst pieces in Aquatic Mine, and now Dage has the other worst piece in the game in Meteor Hood.
Yeah. Oh. Dage. The reason why this is the worst piece is because you have to go. This is the only piece where you have to go up to the very, very top of the stage, and you have to climb, which is very slow. And it would usually give you a piece at the bottom as well, which is quite far away. He did get one in the middle area, which is not too bad, but he still ends with a 51, which is not a very good time for Meteor Hood.
The route that he used to check for that last piece, though, I think is a little suboptimal. There are 3 separate places that dig while watching the moon piece can be. It can either be on a high platform, a middle platform, or a low platform. Typically, it's good practice among players to drill dive past the high platform and go straight to the low platform, because if it's not at the low platform, there's a spring that takes you straight to the middle platform. And in terms of time elapsed going between all 3 of them, that is the fastest way on average to get to all 3.
Talking to you is a waste of time.
Very well.
Just to respond to someone in chat, this is on PC.
So Dage also going for a ringless rouge start. Albeit he waited a little at the start of the fight, but waiting until the camera reorients itself makes that fight a lot less intimidating, since if you go for it as soon as you gain control, you have to have very precise timing with when you drill dive into her, otherwise she kicks you straight out of the air and kills you.
Yeah. Oh, I think Tylenol actually got a second cycle there and fails the clip out. Yeah, so he's going to be losing a bit more time here, actually. Fails it again. He needs to take his time.
Oh, the old
out of bounds.
Old reset, yeah.
He's not taking his time. He's trying to rush it. He really doesn't want to lose much time, but that's making him lose more.
It's a hard balance to strike in this game, because obviously it's very tempting to just try and go as fast as possible, because obviously you don't want to lose time, but a lot of the strats in this game are really unforgiving to the point where you absolutely need to pay them enough respect to give proper setups. Otherwise,
oh, he finally gets out of bounds.
Yeah, he's out. And Dage is at CGSS.
Dage going for CGSS.
The 2 biggest out-of-bounds space-flying skips in the game.
Yeah. Simultaneously. Looking good for Dage. Yeah. Oh, just barely misses it. That's... Oh.
That feel when your movement is too good.
He just overshoots it. That's the exact same thing that happened in the previous race for both runners in that race as well. Twice. That happened twice for both runners.
Yeah.
Now it's happened to Dage as well. This is very strange.
It's rare to be able to even overshoot the goal ring like that, and you can visually recognize that it's going to happen and try and stop moving, but when you're in space like that, letting go of the control stick can have some unpredictable results for your position.
Yeah. Well, he does end up getting a 44, even with the death. That's still fairly good. I'd say it's still faster than getting CGS. He honestly, as long as he gets CGSS, he's going to be happy. Obviously, he wants it first try. Second try, he'd probably not be too happy with, but it's still better than third try.
Do we have a first try CGSS in this tournament yet?
I don't actually think so, no.
Well, I guess I'm going to be the first then.
Not if I can help it.
Oh boy.
Yo, Tylenol getting center of the triangle scar, whatever it's called. I don't even know the hint anymore because I restarted it.
Triangle star.
Yeah, that one.
But I believe he He reset for between the rotating beacons actually, which is definitely not a piece that many runners are comfortable going with.
That's probably even a worse piece. Yeah, that's on the opposite side of the bottom. He should have restarted for that piece.
So dangerous water drops is always at the top where Dage went for floating stone above a moon. Albeit it's not as high up, so it's not as bad. And there's a hint right next to the enemy as well, so
Dage actually accidentally rail switched onto the rail to the right of the start, and he had to restart, and he had to restart again. After that, he's losing some time on final rush. I think he's gonna go for faster fire. If he does and gets it, that would be crazy. That would be a very good final rush. But he misses. He's gonna have to go for it now.
He's got to go for it now.
Yeah, because he accidentally missed the rail. So even if he wasn't gonna go for it, he has to now. Let's see if he gets it.
Okay. No.
Oh, no, he didn't.
That was a really... I don't think that was actually going to work. That was a very weird approach towards the kill plane.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, now he's going for the regular skip.
Fire, yeah.
The only way that you're going to even semi-consistently, if that, land fast FR skip is to go for the kill plane as straight as possible. Like, the trick is literally nothing more or less than you just go towards it and you hope that on between two frames you are on both sides of the skip. Oh, wow!
He actually dies doing final rush skip. I think that may have been because he accidentally did a rail switch, which I have never actually seen him do before. I'd be surprised if he did do it, because doing a bounce is actually slightly faster, and he wants to save the frames.
This is why I want people to know at least how to do the bounceless variant.
Yeah, if you accidentally rail switch, then you're going to be in trouble.
In race situations like this, you can't afford to be wasting 30 seconds needing to restart just because you rail switched, when you can still land the skip and only have it be 1 or 2 seconds slower.
Alright, so Tylenol's on Crazy Gadget now. I don't think he's going to be doing CGSS. Maybe CGS, maybe Skipless. We'll see what he does.
I'd say it's pretty likely that we're going to see a CGS here. So I think we're going to see both variants of CG skip.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And
there's
it's like
one checkpoint.
It's like this probably isn't going to happen, but like if Dage somehow doesn't make it to the end, then it's actually still anyone's game.
Yeah. Tylenol doing the spin dash jump. Oh, he misses it.
He doesn't have,
looks like he's high enough.
He doesn't have a lot of height here, so he is going to have to break through the wall.
He's going to be high enough to hit the wall to have a chance at it. Yeah, he's over that yellow thing nearly. So we'll see what he does. He's actually
okay.
That was very close. He could have easily been thrown to the side there. I'm surprised he went around the side and not straight through the middle.
Yeah, I thought that he was going to get stuck on the right-hand side of the wall there and actually get dragged down.
Yeah.
So
Tylenol actually is going for CGS here. He actually managed to make the spin dash jump, I think, second try.
Yeah, this particular method for Acid Room, I'm not particularly a fan of this method.
Yeah, this is the old strat, which is very slow. There are multiple faster strats, and I'm surprised he's going for that strat, honestly. He's going for the out of bounds. Let's see if he makes it. Dage is on Shadow 2. Let's see what happens.
The lane is... No, that's too low.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he panicked and thought he was one higher. Possibly, so he cancelled going up and just stayed there.
But Dage finishes with, well, it looks like a 38 flat.
A 38 flat is still fairly good, even for Dage. He could have got a 35 or something, but 38 is still not terrible. It's not terrible.
I did say that at the top level, 35 finishes in this tournament are a possibility, but expect to see more things like 36, 37, and 38.
Yeah. Tylenol actually did miss the artificial chaos and got stuck in the room after the spin dash jump, but manages to recover because he had a shield and could take a hit to jump straight back up to hit the artificial chaos. Now he's got his second attempt at doing CGS.
Yeah, this is one of the things about CGS is that there are multiple ways to soft lock on this skip.
Yeah, this does not look good either. Ooh, yeah. I knew that was one too far over, but I'm not sure how familiar Tylenol is with CGS. He probably has it in his PB. If he got it first try, I'm sure Tylenol could have actually PB'd. because he was actually not that far behind Dage. Alright, he's coming up on his third attempt here. He's gonna have to back up to get some speed. He's taking his time. This is his third attempt. It's going out of bounds. Ooh, I don't think they'll make it. Ooh, just barely.
Closest yet, though.
Yeah. Oh, he's just going for regular CG now. He's bailing out of the skip. He just wants to finish, I think. He knows he's not won this race. Stage is already finished, so he's just gonna finish the race. I'm sure he's tired of trying CGS now. I would be. So that's another thing. We're gonna be able to see the rest of Crazy Gadget, which I'm not. Have we seen it before? Has anyone else done Crazy Gadget normally without skip?
I mean,
actually, I think I don't know.
There's been a couple of races from like quote unquote non-top runners, so I would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we get the flame ring doing CG without the skip. This is a good example of how nice Crazy Gadget can look without the skip as well, as we mentioned earlier. There's still a lot of things you can do to make it look really, really nice and clean.
Yeah, this
still
is
a very fun stage to go through.
This is what I was referring to when I said that this is my favorite stage to just play. This is how the stage looks skipless, and I think it's really nice.
Yeah. A bit of struggle with the bounce there. And he's coming to the end of Crazy Gadget. Should be seeing the Tetris room skip. Yeah, nice super bounce, and that should be Crazy Gadget. Yeah, 2:11. Not too bad of a time if that was your first attempt. But considering he had the multiple deaths trying to do CGS, it was not a very good Crazy Gadget for Tylenol. He lost minutes in one stage.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's not very happy about.
This is the problem with attempting major skips in this game, that it's fine to like go for them in runs and to be able to just reset and do another run, but in a race setting, you really need to be comfortable with consistently hitting stuff first or second try. Since obviously if you're going to attempt it a few times and then just not do the skip at all, it just costs a lot of time. And
yeah.
It's not really possible to overstate how unforgiving some of the skips in this game are. Like, unless you try them, like, a lot of them look fairly simple, but they're absolutely anything but.
Yeah. Alright, Tylenol just finishing up. Eggman 2 coming into Final Rush. Should see a Final Rush skip. It's probably a bit easier to do than Crazy Gadget skip, so yeah. I'm sure Tylenol should get it first try as well.
The mechanics of this skip are more simplistic than CG skip, but the knowledge required and the attention that you need to pay is still very high, because you saw that Dage died while performing this skip, so it's definitely not a freebie. Yeah.
Oh, he's actually going fairly slow on the rail. Does try bounceless and does have his gravity reset on him. That is a time loss there. I'm not sure if he should have restarted. I'm sure he should have tried to go back into the kill plane so he could just respawn from the checkpoint.
Yeah, if the checkpoint is hit on the way to the skip, it is generally faster to just fall and die rather than to restart the stage.
Yeah, same exact thing happens again. Another 20 seconds lost on Final Rush skip. Still hasn't managed to get the setup yet, so I wouldn't count this as not getting it first try. He does a homie attack there to cancel his speed, which I think is one of the factors of why his gravity is reset so easily. He does actually manage to get the setup now, so let's see if he does get it first try after getting the setup.
He's got the angle. This specific method that he's using to fall out of bounds, it is going to introduce some additional risk, though.
Yeah.
since he is falling at a higher angle, which means he's going to conserve more height, but he's also going to end up further away from the goal ring, so there's more distance to make up.
I should see the level come into view in a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then we can gauge if he's going to make it or not. Yeah, he's got plenty of height.
This is one of the reasons that I prefer the bounceless strat myself, because you do often end up with a lot of spare height at the end, so it's generally seen as being safer. Like, it's slower by up to a couple of seconds, as Mustache has said, but it is quite a bit safer.
Yeah, he uses the bounce there to get a bit more distance, because that resets your falling speed back to a default of, which is slightly slower than your maximum falling speed. So he does get a bit more distance there to make it to the end. I don't think he needed it necessarily, but he wants safety. He just wants to get this run finished, I think.
Yeah.
He's 45 minutes in. And his
But with a
PB's
clean
at 40.
shadow, he can indeed end up with a 45 if the shadow is clean.
Yeah. He just needs to get shadow first or second try, I think. It's one hit. Two. Three. That was a bit sloppy there. Oh, he's going for the bounce. He just needs to get one more handed bounce, and he gets it. Nice.
45-46.
Still a good shadow. I don't think Channel's going to be very happy with his performance, especially in Crazy Gadget and Final Rush. But it was still a fairly good show from Tylenol, so congrats to Dage for winning and Tylenol for the nice race.
Yeah, it was certainly entertaining. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, a very good show.
So we are also 10 minutes away from starting up our next race, which... Who are we looking at on the schedule here?
Alright, let's see. And this one was with Dage and Tylenol. I can't find it. Oh, is it Zeti and Dai? No, it can't be.
It's going to be either... I mean, it's two races.
Oh, it's going to be Ford and Buffalo. Yeah.
Oh, yes, sorry. I was thinking that was two races scheduled, but that was now. So the next race is a single race between Ford and Buffalo Prime. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Alright. What are your predictions for Ford and Buffalo's race?
I think this is, from the races we've had today, this is one of the most difficult ones to call. Ford and Buffalo are quite comparable in their respective skill levels.
Yeah.
And they're both strong at certain sections of the game in their own rights. So I think, assuming that they both are in decent condition and they both play at a relatively similar level, there are going to be sections where the respective players are going to save time on each other and also lose time on each other. So
yeah.
I can't actually really call this. If I had to, I would say that I think Buffalo has an edge, but Ford definitely knows his stuff in this game, so Buffalo's going to have to work really hard for this win.
Yeah, I agree. I think Buffalo's probably going to take this one, but Ford could still easily take it, even though he hasn't played since January, and his PB is about a minute, slightly over a minute slower than Buffalo's. He could still put all that work in to try and get a good time and beat Buffalo. If Buffalo messes up a lot, Ford has a good chance of catching up or winning, taking it. Ford just needs to play his best in order to win.
The thing is, I personally feel that, you can feel free to disagree, but I personally think that when Ford isn't struggling with like the major skips of the run, such as Crazy Gadget skip and whatnot, I think he's a relatively consistent player for the times he tends to get in each stage.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we could see some very good things from Ford, and some very good things from Buffalo as well. Honestly, either of them could win. Should be a fairly close race.
And that should be coming up in about 8 minutes, I think, so...
Yeah.
I'm sure the staff will be getting ready to set up the next race, and Is it will it be me and you returning for the next races still?
I don't know. It looks like Seraphim and Geek want to commentate for it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they asked in commentary.
Ah, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm fine with that, with taking a break.
Yeah. I'm also fine with that.
So, yeah, this has been Dage and Talon's race. Dage taking the win. We've been Dracodan and Mustache.
Yep.
And we'll be back in a few minutes with Ford 373 versus Buffalo Prime, and you should be hosted by Seraphim and ID Geek for that race, who they themselves raced earlier this evening. So,
yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching this race. Stay tuned.